broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hey everybody, what's up? It's Nicole Brajer here at AFTERBUZZ TV. We are doing Mob Wives tonight, and of course it is the last season, season 6, the end of an era. Tonight's episode was called, what was it called, guys? The Sitdown, of course, right? Because it opened up with that crazy sit-down. Let me introduce my amazing panelists who are right next to me.
Yes, I am Blake V, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media.
Hey everybody, I'm Howard III. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Howard III.
And we are streaming live on YouTube. You can hashtag APTV Mob Wives to join the conversation. We've got everything open, Twitter, YouTube. So chat with us. We'll try to answer your questions because most importantly tonight we have Miss Marissa Jade on the line. What's up, Marissa?
Woo.
Hey guys.
Hey,
Hi.
Thank you so much for staying up late for us. We know it's a little bit late on your coast, so we do appreciate you tuning in and joining us tonight on AFTERBUZZ.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Of course.
So how'd you guys like the show?
This was a good episode, right? We were
So
It was a
action-packed.
very good episode.
Yes.
Yes, it finally makes me excited for this season. And we get a dose of you in this episode, like, right? I feel like your personality really came out, and you really have nothing to hide.
No, I really don't. It's just, a lot of shadiness going on the show, as always. And when I see it, I say it. And apparently people get sensitive when they hear the truth.
Right. You said something to SI Live. I'm quoting you. You said you're more intelligent than the drama. So what do you mean by that? Would you not necessarily say that you're a pot stirrer, but you go above and beyond and maybe actually point out what's really going on instead of beating around the bush?
I know she quoted that, but I don't know if it was exactly like that. But I'm just saying that I don't really have time or patience for it. Like I have so much going on in my life, so much to look forward to. The last thing I need to be doing is, arguing with other women.
Right.
Nowadays.
Let's talk a little bit about what you have going on in your life. I read that you've done a lot of TV series because when you even look you up, it says model actors. And you do have some acting experience tied under your belt. Like you've been in Gossip Girl, The Good Wife, Law and Order, and then what were you in Elf? She was in the movie Elf?
Oh, wow.
It was nothing crazy, just minor appearances. But I've, dabbled in the industry, and I filmed a couple of movies recently, and I have a couple more on my plate, which I'm more excited to talk about.
Go ahead, tell us. We want to know. Can you share?
Well, I was made into a comic book character. So I have a comic book out called Destiny, Queen of Thieves. And it actually got picked up to be made into a movie. So I will be starring as Destiny in the live-action film.
Wow.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
Tell us how
Yeah.
you're preparing for that role. I feel like you've always been very active, being that you have modeled and stuff. It's not like the gym is a foreign thing to you, especially growing up in Staten Island. But tell us how you prepare for any role that's kind of given or thrown your way.
I don't know. I relate to the character, sort of. She's very intelligent, and she's very, strong mentally, physically, emotionally, and it's just not really a far-fetched thing for me. So I'm very comfortable with the role.
So the guy who wrote the comic book series originally, was it his idea to turn it into a film, or how did that idea get brought about? I mean, the fact that he even took an interest in you, and particularly to write this comic. I mean,
That's amazing.
Yeah, how did that make you? How did that make you feel?
Oh, it feels great. I was so happy when he wanted to, make something like that of me. And of course, if you're going to make something, you hope it gets picked up and, gets made into something bigger. So he definitely had that in mind. And he asked me, how would I want to be portrayed? And we had a little discussion about the comic book. I told him which lane I wanted to go down, and he went from there. He hired a writer. They wrote the storyline. He hired artists. They put the book together. I do a lot of conventions around the United States, like a lot of Comic-Cons, so I always promoted the character and the book, and a lot of people that are there, come around and they check out people's work, and someone took an interest in it, and that was it. I want to make it into a book.
Is this a brand new world for you, comics, or have you been a part of the whole kind of comic cosplay world before this?
Well, you have 6 brothers, right? So I'm sure they kind
I have
whether you wanted to or not,
5.
you were probably into it.
I have 5.
5,
I
okay.
was into it when I was younger,
Yeah.
and my uncle actually owned a comic book store.
Oh,
But
wow.
I never really did the cons up until like 5 years ago. That's when I was introduced to it, and I was
Okay.
introduced to it around the same time that somebody wanted to make that comic book of me. So it kind of made sense to go into that world.
Yeah, that's perfect
And
timing.
it was quite a culture shock in the beginning, but it's so cool. It really is a cool environment.
Speaking of environments, growing up, I mean, you kind of come from this lifestyle that the ladies do more or less, right? But let's talk about your boyfriend for a sec. I mean, I know that people ask you, a lot about OZ, but we have to know. I mean,
Yeah, well, especially as viewers, we've been hearing the name thrown around, but we
Exactly.
don't really know much about him as a person in general, or as he relates to you and the ladies.
Well, he's an amazing person. He's a loyal person. I just, he went away. He did his time. He never ratted. His word is good as gold, and we vibe very well. Everyone knows everyone out here, so I guess everyone is kind of like a part of this lifestyle, is in it. He's been around it. I don't know. He's out. He's doing well. Behaving, but he's a low-key man, so I don't really speak much about him.
before he went away, you were kind of resistant to be with him. That's what I read, and you wanted to really focus on your career, which it seems like you did.
Yeah. I mean, I'm always focused on my career, and he was just, really fast-paced in another lane, and I just couldn't be involved in that, So we got together when he simmered down.
That's good. That's a good time.
Yeah.
More
relaxed, I don't have to worry about him.
There you go.
Have you always kept out of trouble, or do you feel like modeling gigs and acting roles have helped you stay kind of clear of the streets, if you will?
To be honest with you, I feel like once I left high school and the little girl-boy drama, everything just kind of clicked. I was out, I was working, I was living on my own. I was in the real world where everyone was still stuck in this bubble, So yeah, I kept my head out of it and minded my business, and life's been quiet ever since.
Well, except for the end of this episode.
Right.
And we saw, Mob Wives did one of their famous cliffhangers where we saw the start of the fight. And now
Right.
they're making us wait a whole week to see the rest of it.
As usual.
As usual, of course. So maybe we jump into...
We've got to make you come back.
Of course. Well, we'd come back anyways, girl. But, but maybe we jump into that for a second. So we've really been seeing since the start of this episode the whole kind of butting heads between you and Brittany. And up until now, it's kind of like we're getting both sides, but now you're really kind of having it out and really having words with one another about it. What was your sort of first impression up until this point of actually talking it out with each other? Sort of just your feelings going into it, meeting this girl and you're not really having a problem with her, but not really vibing with her either.
I mean, it's just unfortunate that, we bumped heads, but it is what it is. And there was a lot of he said, really not really, it's just she said. A lot of she said in the middle of us, And I think both of us were, thinking one was saying something a certain way when it wasn't, or I don't know. And it escalated. But she wanted to take it there, and I had no problem taking it there. But as you saw in the show, I did try to be cordial. I did try to have a conversation with her. We were in a place of business. There was like 300 people there. Don't act your age, girl. I was trying to be nice, but she didn't want to be. And the second she got up in my space, I just blacked out and cracked her.
So you would say that you did not go into that situation prepared for a fight, and that she did?
I mean, of course, the girl was wearing flats and shorts, and I'm in 5-inch heels and a bathing suit. Like, they tell me I'm going to a beach party. I'm dressed for a beach party.
Right.
You know, this one's dressed for, like, you know,
Like a gladiator.
farm, you know.
She was dressed like a gladiator.
Truly ready for battle.
She was.
She was. She had her hair in the braids, you know, so don't rip out her extensions.
There you go.
She was ready.
The gladiator boots
But
and
I'm not
everything.
scared.
Did you find it interesting, Marissa, the women that seemed to click with you versus the women that seemed to click more with Brittany? Sort of the difference in your personalities.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like I give everyone a fair chance, and Brittany chose her fate with the situation. The other girls, you know, saw me for me. They knew I was real. I wasn't, you know, portraying something I wasn't, you know, when they met me, and they obviously knew that. Towards the end of it, I kept me. I was true to myself. And the other ones, I don't know. Like Drita, I don't think she gave me a shot, and she didn't want to. I don't know if she didn't want to give me a shot because I was friends with the other girls, and she's got her own situation with them, or you know, she just has a personal issue with me. Which, you know what, it's like 50-50 to me, because what I see on the show, it's like you're kind of hating for no reason. You kind of said you abused me and you knew who I was, but then to my face it was, oh, I thought you were someone else, and I would never do that to my so-called brother.
Right.
So, you know, it's shady to me. It's like, and then once you got me questioning you, it's like, I can't put you in my circle.
Right.
You know, if you're in my circle, I never ever looked at you sideways. And she has me looking at her sideways like 3-4 times this whole season.
Do you think Drita tried to provoke Brittany in that kind of sit down they had when they separated you guys before you got together at this beach party?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I think Drita wanted to see what I was about. She was testing me a little bit. You know, she portrays me as this prissy girl who cares about her hair. Like, girl, my shit is virgin and there's no extensions. It's real. What am I worried about with my hair, okay? Only girls that worry about their hair are bleached out and extended, you know? Like, she's just a hater. Everything that comes out of her mouth is like something negative about me.
I
So you
take
don't know who I
pride in
am.
my hair too. Like when people say like, "Oh, are those?" Like, yeah, bitch, it is real. That's my hair. These are not extensions. Because it does.
Yeah,
It does
exactly.
say something about a woman who wears extensions. So, well, that's me and you, Marissa.
You know what's funny? It's always the ones that are wearing the extensions that are pointing the fingers, talking about someone else. It's like, don't you wear extensions?
Yeah, I love that. Well, there's someone on YouTube, ELHP45, wants to know, are you still cool with Drita?
Am I still cool?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say I have
Civil.
no hate. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's
She doesn't care.
non-existent. There's no relationship, but I don't care enough to hate the girl. It is what it is.
And what did you think of Brittany? Also, you guys tell me this. Like, what did you guys think of Brittany being like, Renee? Like, grabbing Renee in the middle of their conversation? Like, that was a little
I
childish
think she
to
really
me.
thought, you know, she knew what she was talking about. So, you know, yeah, go ask Renee. What do you think? Renee's going to lie and say I said it? She told you to your face that you're a cheerleader.
Right, like it was Brittany's way of maybe trying to say like, oh, I'm gonna go right to the source, but instead it just looked like she was kind of trying to mix it up and just add additional people to the conversation than needed to be.
It was unnecessary to me.
Yeah.
It was a little bit. It was like, stand your ground, girl. Have the conversation with her, like, and it made her kind of look kind of dumb at the end because Renee was like, yeah, no, I said that. You know, there was no shame.
I agree, totally.
Kevin Ryan on YouTube wants to know, how did you meet Ozzy?
Through a mutual friend.
Mutual friend. God, you sounded like my cousin when you just said that. My cousins all live in Westchester. So whenever I call you, I say your name, Marissa, I always say Marissa, because that's what I say to my cousin Marissa.
Yeah,
and my
everything
cousin
ends with
Marissa
A.
has really long, beautiful hair too, and it's all real. So take pride
A lot
in
of
the hair.
similarities.
Yeah. So, what was your opinion about the title of this episode? It's the sit down, right? What did you think of it? Because I don't know about you two, was disappointed by it. They hyped it up. It's in this huge warehouse.
It was
I
short.
actually thought it was going to be a little bit more dramatic.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. The girls have a lot of history and a lot of bad blood, and they needed to hash it out. And I don't know. I mean, I looked at it and I was like, I don't know if they really hashed anything out. You know?
I know. It was so quick. They said like two things and it was done.
I don't think they really got what they wanted out, and it's just like, you know what, we're gonna shut up. But if something happens, we're gonna blow up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have the girls changed? Have you seen any difference since the sit down? How are they more, you know, like friends now, or are they still kind of just at each other's throat?
Some people are at each other's throats, yes, and probably always will be. And the majority of us get along very well.
Yeah, because we've
we
seen
have a good time.
we've seen you in some photos lately with some of the women. So, who would you say you're like closest with?
Yeah.
At this point.
I equally love the shit out of Renee, Carla, and Karen. I think they're great.
Yeah.
You know, they've always been true. They've, you know, always had my back. They never second-guessed anything. They never try to come at me sideways. They keep their mouth shut even when they know so much dirt on somebody. Like, they're good people, good souls. I like them.
What about Big Ange?
Big Ange is great, but me, you know,
Right.
and I thought, you know, my prayers really go out to the woman. God bless. She's strong. She's a fighter. I hope she makes it, pulls through. You know, she's going through a tough time right now. But and I get along with Ange, but then, you know, sometimes it's like I felt like she kept siding with the other side, and it was like, well, why? Like, why don't you see my view sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
So we maybe nothing crazy, but
Right.
I have love for her.
I think most people do, but she definitely poked a wound in the beginning of
Yeah.
this episode, kind of just diving right
like
in.
they all sat down, and like right away you're like, Marissa said blah blah blah, and I'm like something always happens when I'm not around.
Yeah.
You know, like what the hell?
Yeah.
What was I going to say? I was going to say something about Karen, actually. I was going to point out that we did talk to Brittany last week, and she told us that her and Karen, and based on the Twitter war, are not so keen anymore. Do you have anything to say about that?
They're definitely not. I mean, I agree with Karen, and I feel she has every right to feel the way she does, because she did bring this girl around, as you see in the first 5 episodes, up until even this one. She was really like siding with Brittany and sticking up for her, and you know, she did a lot and stuck up for her a lot, like with Renee and just everybody, and Brittany kind of shitted on her.
What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, it's sort of a tricky scenario, because that's true. I mean, Karen brought her in. They expressed mutual loyalty and care for one another right off the bat. And Karen's sort of been saying like, yeah, this is my girl. She's legit and everything like that. And then this episode, we really see her kind of throw it back in Karen's face and be like, well, I'm doing me over here with all these ladies on this show. So
I get Brittany's, because like you're a little bit older than Brittany, Marissa, and I mean not like terribly, but she's about our age, and I see her being a little bit young and naive in this cast. Like I see Marissa's points about Brittany and how Renee like feels iffy about her, but I see Brittany's perspective where she's just trying to get along, but it's like from the get-go you should have known that that's not the way that things roll in this clique of women.
Yeah, like you should have picked a side already. Like,
right, because that's what they're all
she
about.
just went
loyalty.
back and forth a little too much, you know.
yeah.
And they're really about loyalty from one to the other. Go ahead.
Do you feel bad at all, Marissa, for calling Brittany a flip-flopper and a lush?
Oh, a lush.
Well, lush. Listen, as disrespectful as that, you know, girl is towards me, honest to God, lush was not meant to hurt her.
Yeah.
Like, I would have said that to one of my best friends. If someone said that to me, it would have been like, yeah, I was lushing it last night. Like, it was not serious. But, you know, age is just a number, and mentally, she's very, very young, and she took it the way she did, and it escalated from there, you know? I mean, if she really was a drunk in my eyes, the last thing I would do is call out someone's flaws like that and disrespect them. It was not my intentions.
Which is fair. That's totally fair. I mean, we even said on our after show, after the whole lush term was brought up, that really, if you were going after her, you could have said a lot worse.
Yeah.
Lush is a very, a very kind term if you were really going after her. So we agreed with you on that one.
Well, thank you for agreeing.
Right. One person that I enjoyed seeing tonight, who was a newcomer, was August, Ozzy's sister.
Oh, yeah.
She was a character.
Yeah.
She seems like fun.
Yeah, she's fun. August is fun. She's a good time.
Yeah.
Are we going to be seeing more of her throughout the season?
No, that was it.
That was it?
More
That was her
shopping.
little
She's
Little
shy.
cameo.
Damn. I feel like she would be great to see more
Oh, I
of
know.
her.
Yeah.
She seemed very, very
The chat is just like flooding right now. I mean, some people are saying that you make a gay man go straight.
So I've heard. I like that.
Someone said that you're more Jersey Shore or Jersey Housewives material than anything else. I'm from Jersey, so I don't take that in offense. Don't take it in offense either, Marissa. It just means that you're bold and that you can stand your ground. That's what you should take.
Well,
it.
Jersey Housewives isn't bad.
No.
No, they're the shit. They're like the
Jersey Shore, I don't know. Sure.
Well, hey, Snooki's prevailed.
She's
from
done
the
well
Jersey
for
Shore.
herself. Yes, she has.
Snook looks good these days. But then they're saying Brittany should be on Bad Girls Club.
Oh, I could see that.
I could see that too.
Me 10 years ago, Bad Girls Club would have been for me, but I
Not
retired
today.
like love. I'm not ashamed to say it. I don't care. I'm a woman, you know?
Yeah.
Refined.
There you go. Refined, yes.
Someone mocked her and said, not Marissa, Brittany, and said that it seems like she thinks she's the baddest when in reality she's not. Because she puts on that
You know
tough girl
what?
mentality.
I've never once in my entire, those words never came out of my mouth. So for people to even say that about me as if it came out of my mouth only proves their own insecurities about them.
Definitely.
Wait, did you misinterpret what I said? Because I said someone said that about Brittany, not you.
Oh, I thought Brittany said that about me.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, we have
But
to.
that must be a common thing.
We have to
But
correct
no,
that
I agree
everywhere.
with that girl. I agree with that comment.
Yeah.
Why do you think that Brittany is so keen to be close to Drita?
I don't know, because Drita acts a certain way, and she just feels like I don't know. She makes people. Well, actually, as Karen said, Brittany came on the show as a fan.
Mm-hmm.
She
Oh,
was
interesting.
Team Drita before she knew Drita. So, which I find even more which I find funny, because she even said something about Drita in the Hamptons. So if you did come on here as a fan, why did you even make that remark in the Hamptons? I just feel like
She seemed
I
drunk.
don't know. I think Brittany just tried to fit in.
Yeah,
you know?
it
And
seemed
maybe
like she was
felt
drinking.
like because I was friends with the other girls that they weren't going to take her back, and she knew that Drita felt some sort of way about me, so she thought like Drita was going to like take her back with me. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and speaking of close relationships, you came on the show and it really kind of showed your closeness with Renee in the beginning of the season 2. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Renee prior to you coming on Mob Wives.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have much of a relationship with the girls. My boyfriend had the relationship with all of them for many years, really young, and I came on because I got really close with my boyfriend's cousin's wife, and she's really close with all the girls. So one day she just, hit up her friend and was like, this girl, needs to be on the show, and it just went from there.
Wow, that's
But
kind of incredible.
I kind of met Renee like while doing it, but we just clicked. We all clicked.
Yeah, because I mean, instantly, I think from the very first moment where they introed you, it kind of showed you and Renee together, and you looked like such good friends. And we had Renee on the show recently as well, and she was speaking super highly of you, so it seemed just really, really good. Like you guys have a really good, solid, kind of genuine friendship.
Yeah, we definitely do. I think you just know who you're going to vibe with.
Yeah.
When you meet them, You can tell, like, if someone's genuine and out for you, or, if they're like good people. And, I didn't feel any type of way about Renee when I met her. Like, I knew she was a good person, and, she's proved it ever since.
And isn't that refreshing?
Yeah.
Very refreshing.
Someone you just get along with. So good.
Especially on this show.
Right? Especially.
I'm just looking at Twitter now, just trying to see if I see. I mean, the only thing is Renee. She's just blowing up Twitter, basically highlighting that Brittany doesn't have her own mind and has no respect for Karen because of what went down.
Yeah, I
Don't have
cannot.
respect for anyone.
Right, and I cannot wait until next week to see the rest of the showdown
Right.
between you and Brittany and sort of what comes from it. I hate it when they keep us waiting.
I know. But, yep, you'll see it next week. It'll come quick.
All right,
Always
I'll take your
does.
word for it, Marissa.
So, real quick to wrap it up. Do you have a spread coming out in Playboy?
As of now, no.
No.
But I will let you know
Why did I
when.
read that you did?
It's in the works,
No, I don't.
perhaps.
Oh, well,
You
do
keep
it.
us posted
But
on that.
but don't go nude. You don't really have to anymore anyway, since they're not going to have nude in March.
No, I'm not going nude, so I'm not going to have them.
So what else is, I guess, in the works for you? No, besides the comic book and movie, anything else coming up? Any modeling gigs? And being that there is Fashion Week, right, approaching. I mean, are you involved with anybody else?
No, Fashion Week I don't do. I mean, I'm not 5'9", so,
Right.
you know, let's be realistic. But I do print work, commercial work. I work for, you know, clothing companies. So I have a couple of gigs coming up that I'm happy about. And I don't know, I have a couple of other things in the works that I don't want to speak of just yet, but, you know, hopefully in the near future I can.
And then we'll be the first to know.
Yes.
Right.
At least.
Definitely.
Are you coming to LA? Do you have any trips to come out to Hollywood?
I am coming soon, actually. I can't put a date on it yet. I gotta wait till this reunion's over. And
Quickly,
yeah.
can we talk about the reunion? Do you know who's hosting it by any chance? Can you give us a spoiler?
No, I don't actually.
Are you
don't.
are you prepared for it?
Did you ask the other girls? Did they know?
We haven't asked actually. We were just asking you.
Yeah, you're our first.
Oh, I have no clue. I don't even know what I'm wearing. How about that?
No. Are you guys filming it this week or next week? Because I know. Are you,
This week.
oh.
Yeah.
Does
Very
Jeez,
soon.
so soon.
It'll be very intense, I'm sure.
Yes. Does the intensity change what outfit you're gonna wear?
No, I always dress that.
I
Just
could
check.
I could see
I mean,
us
I might
checking.
have a backpack with some sneakers, you know, with some
Some
leggings.
extra gear?
You know, but I'm definitely going to come in pretty.
That's great. Well,
As you can see, I can still fight pretty, so.
Oh yes.
I'm excited for next week. I really am.
Oh, I can't wait. I hate these cliffhangers. They get to me. I'm telling you.
Definitely.
All right, well, we're going to let you go, Marissa, so we can wrap up the show. But thank you so much for letting us bombard you with question after question. And hopefully we'll be able to sit down with you one more time before this reunion.
Yes,
show.
when you're in LA, please come visit us.
You can come in
Yes.
studio. You know,
We loved getting to
we
know
could
you.
get we could get lushy. You know,
We like that
Definitely.
word.
Let's
so-
get lushy.
lushy.
Great.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
so much.
Marissa.
We appreciate it. We'll be talking to you soon. All right, guys, let's wrap up the show real quick and kind of just who do we want to focus on right now? I think the biggest focus is Brittany and Marissa, which we went over a lot.
Definitely,
Who
yeah.
would be the
That's-
next people that you
Well,
would want to touch on?
The one thing that kind of got me from this episode was Renee's many moments about the kids coming home. She's so funny. She's such a mom, you know.
She's hysterical.
She's like, just come home. Just come
I'm
stay.
so in love with her. I love that she admitted that she smoked a joint before she decorated that room. It was amazing.
I love how she bribed the kids with the watches.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
I
talking
was
about.
like, can I get a Rolex, please?
Yeah, but
yeah.
she
Man.
leaked to us too. But you know what? She pulled it out so Mob Wife style. No,
Yeah.
no
I
box,
got
no
gifts.
nothing. Just takes it out of her purse. Here's her. Where's the box? Where's the tag? Okay, no
No.
questions asked.
Fell off a truck.
Oh my god. Yeah, right. Fell off this man's hand. Now lying in a ditch somewhere.
So good. So Renee, I loved it.
I know. But can we talk about Judah stirring the pot between
Yes.
Marissa and Brittany? Mm-hmm. It seems like she was the mastermind, kind of puppet-like, you know?
For sure. And the thing that kind of got me too was last week we saw her essentially make up with Marissa to some degree. Marissa came and spoke to her and she was like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize it was you. I didn't realize you were connected to whoever. Then this week, she's sitting at the table with her straight up just calling her out and
Exactly.
just, pinpointing all these things. And it's like, well, okay. you sort of made up with her last week, but then here you are like throwing all these things in your face, true or untrue. You know,
she's riling him up. She has no right to. I mean, then she talks about Renee. It's like Drita, Renee, and Angela really stir the pots. They do.
Remember when Renee was in and she was like, "When I stir deep."
Yeah.
I love that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, and this is such a funny season for Drita. To me especially, and I'm sure a lot of viewers agree. I mean, Drita's been there since the beginning, like many of the other women, and a lot of us have been fans of Drita too since the beginning.
Always a fan of Drita.
Always.
Now I'm just like wondering, like, what is going on with
happening?
her?
Yeah.
I know, because with Carla and now Shade at Marissa and just all these kind of things coming together, it's like, what is happening,
Exactly.
Drita?
I mean, they did tell us, Renee told us we would see a little bit more of the real Drita in this season. And I'm just like, how did she hide that all these seasons? And now
I feel like she's just done, you
Yeah.
know? And she was
She's ready
really
to go.
involved. She was like our favorite girl for season after season after season. But I feel like she's drained. And at this point, she wants to put it on everyone else, you know?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
just
And sort of like distance
not
herself
even
from
take any account into how she has always been involved and is a reason for where things are now in the season. She's a
Yes.
main character. Like without her, you know, like maybe certain people wouldn't have gotten to fight or you know what I mean?
Oh, completely. Yeah. And then even on a personal side, she's on this new venture with her book that she's writing. And Lee is just so mean to her.
So mean.
Seriously.
I can't even take it, Lee.
I know. He's
Don't
so
like
mean.
it.
And that's probably why she's on the defense.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah, like her personal is spilling over to her relationship with the ladies. I could totally see that. That makes a lot of sense.
Do you think Drita owned up in the sit down though? Like she apologized.
Yeah. I really appreciate how she was just like, listen, I'm sorry. Like, it took a minute. They kind of had to beat it out of her. But
Yeah.
she finally said, I'm apologizing for that. And she
Yeah.
just stepped up to the plate.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, in many ways, I think that sit down was good. I'm hoping that what we saw as viewers was sort of the product of editing, because I hope it was much longer. I hope they talked about a lot more. You know?
my gosh.
It was so short. But what they did say was good. Like, everyone sort of apologized. I heard an apology from Renee, from Carla, a couple from Drita. It was good.
Yeah.
I think it was good.
Yeah.
Although I did think it was interesting. Was there a specific reason why they wanted it only the OG ladies in the sit down and not bring in the new blood?
Because it wouldn't do anything good.
Right. Because the new bloods would be like,
That's
what's
where the
going on?
And it wasn't
Oh, yeah.
it was an OG sit down for sure.
was.
It needed to be
Truly.
that way.
Especially Renee and that cigarette. And she was like, what's going on? What's going on?
Apparently, we're giving Drita too many passes, according to a YouTube fan. But another one said that she thinks that Drita just apologized to shut them up, and I do agree with that too. But like, that's a mature thing to do. Just say you're sorry and be gone with
let's
it.
move on,
For
yep.
instance, my neighbor literally came down to my apartment last night at 11:30 at night because they turned on my vacuum, and she got all Mob Wives up in my face. It was like, "F you! You're a bitch! Like, you have no respect for this unit." And I was like,
Wow.
"It's 11:30. I can't vacuum up a broken glass at 11:30 without you screaming in my face. Why are you screaming in my face?" I'm like, "This is how you handle your business. This is how you communicate with your neighbor. You're gonna scream at me." Also, she did hear me go, "Well, fuck her," when I was vacuuming, because she was like banging on the ceiling like really, really hard. I'm like, "Well, if she's gonna react like that, like a toddler, then F her." So
I wish I recorded it.
I wish I
This
did.
is like a spin-off. This is like a Mob Wives
Yeah, but this
spin-off.
actually happened last night. So I don't know. Like, I know I was wrong for saying F her, but like, I'll put it like in retrospect to this or many Mob Wives episodes and say that when you're going to say something and then someone hears it or finds out about it and it's not to their face, they do get mad and then get in your face and say F you, say it to my face. And I said, all right, I'm sorry. I mean, it's not like I was going to go walking up to your door, knock on it, and say F you.
Right, but if you're calling me out, I'll apologize.
And yeah, I did. I wrote her a nice note, and I said, I'm sorry. And I'll be quiet during quiet hours.
And problem solved. Right, Nicole?
Let's
There we
hope.
go. There we go.
She has it out for me probably now.
Otherwise, you're headed for a sit down.
You know what, girl? Hey, neighbor, I know people. I host the Mob Wives show on AfterBuzz, so
She knows Renee.
I know Renee. I know Marissa.
She knows now.
I know Brittany. Oh my God. But Drita does say something. She says she doesn't like going tit for tat. If you're just gonna do something, do it.
Exactly.
That was regarding the last fight we see at the end of this episode. So I totally think she was pushing Brittany's buttons in the right way, and I get why Brittany maybe flocks to Drita, not just from a fan perspective, but because maybe they have that same
personality.
Yeah, like if I'm gonna fight, I'm gonna do it.
Totally. And Brittany was sitting there at the table, like clearly getting agitated, and like her leg was going, and she was just like, "I'm ready to go. Where's Marissa? I wanna punch that girl." And then Drita's like, "I get that same way." She looked different. So I think on a level, she really sees a lot of herself in Brittany, and that's probably why they were able to click so quickly. She probably just sees a lot of Brittany in her young self.
I just also see a lot of similarities between Marissa and Drita too, a little bit. Like when they were like for instance, when Marissa was like, Carla's sugarcoating it, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat this for you. This is what happened, and this is why she's phony.
Yeah.
I feel like Drita does the same when it comes to like not beating around the bush like that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think she is very straightforward when she's there, because that's the thing is a lot of the last season, unfortunately, we've seen her not present in a lot of scenarios. So that's sort of like putting this whole question in our minds, I think, where we're used to her being straightforward. Of course, she's been straightforward to everyone, but it's like now she's like beating around the bush, or she's absent, or she's not really there to back up what she's trying to say to somebody, and that's confusing to us because we don't understand why, and she's not giving us any reason why.
It's something she's hiding something. I just wish we kind of knew if it was something personal, if it was something about her daughters. I don't know, whatever little secret. It's just showing. So now it's coming to the point where Drita, it's eating you from the inside out. You need to tell us what's going on.
Yeah,
we need to know.
Yeah.
Or if this is like all just on the producers, you guys are doing a really crappy job because you're swaying us like both ways. All of a sudden she hates Carla, and then she's sitting down. I'm like, what? She's like, if anything, contradicting her own self because she apologized, and now she's having dinner with the four of them in the next scene.
Just after calling everyone else phony for making up. But that whole stance was so weird because like Drita has made up with people. She's made up with many people over the seasons. Yeah. The first intro to Drita was her making up with Karen. So for her to attack the rest of the girls and say, "Oh, you made up too quick. That's so phony," was really interesting to me because she's made up with people too. A lot of what she's saying this past season is just really surprising. It's not. Yeah. It's very different from the normal Drita that we're used to, from the Drita she's been giving us season after season, and I hope that we learn a little more as to why throughout the season. I would be very disappointed if we get all the way through the end and to the reunion and nothing really has come out about why she's acting this way.
One of the fans says she's hiding nothing. She's been phony since season 1.
Ooh,
and that's what Renee was trying to say that too.
Yeah. She's hiding something. Drita's hiding. I just feel like she is, but maybe she's not. I just don't feel. How can she be one person for so many seasons? It's not like it's been 1 season, 2 seasons, with like 5, 6 seasons in, and now you want to show us, oh, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that. No, Drita, it's something else. You don't just flip like that.
Someone else pointed out that Drita, on Twitter, that Drita did try to calm Brittany down, but they only showed the part where they fight, and she was pushing her buttons. So this could be, an editing and production decision, but it's gonna make Drita explode.
Oh yeah.
It's not, and she won't be light about it in the reunion, and then we'll hear the truth.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Which I guess brings us to predictions, right? Unless anybody has anything else to add.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
All right, guys.
Yes. Okay, so regarding the fight between Marissa and Brittany, I really hope for some sort of action, but in Mob Wives history, they go at it really hard and then get pulled apart. So I think it's probably going to be a little bit of that, as we've come to expect with Mob Wives. But maybe this fight, even if they're not best friends, obviously, but maybe this fight will bring some sort of closure, at least to the major portion of their, beef, and then they can at least be civil too, and then maybe the drama will hop to someone else. Besides then. Yeah, it's gonna have to. And then I just want to find out why Lee's being so mean to Drita about the book. Because that's bothering me.
Exactly.
What you got, Howard?
I'm the same little page as you. I predict that this book thing between Drita and Lee is going to maybe just ruffle the marriage, put a little wave in there. Yeah. It's becoming to the point where Lee is like, just don't do it. The same way he was about
Karen's book.
Karen's book, yes. He's having the same feelings. I'm like, Lee, what do you think is really going to be in this book?
Yeah.
So I predict that that's going to hurt their marriage just a little bit. And I also see, of course, Brittany and Karen, as we know, no longer friends. But this sit down that they have by themselves is just going to get ugly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too, because Karen was repetitive on how uncomfortable she was with this situation.
Yeah.
You know, even to her own daughter. And it's almost like, Karen, you're the reason Brittany's even involved in this pack of wild dogs. So you have to own up to the fact that you introduced her to Marissa, but then you're sitting next to Marissa at lunch when Brittany's not there, and you're kind of playing both sides too. So I do predict that it won't end well for Brittany, as we like already kind of know with her relationship with Karen, but I think there might be a little bit more to it that will reveal itself.
I'm interested to see that backstory of how it all played out.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see some, you know, a new feud, because I'm over the Brittany and Marissa drama.
Next.
Please. We would love that.
Yes.
News and gossip real quick. We're just going to have prayers.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Prayers for Big Ange that her cancer came back.
Yeah. Devastating news.
And there
really
are
sad.
there are donations going out for her cancer, and I think a fan just let me know that they've reached. Her GoFundMe campaign has reached 30K in one day of being posted. So if you guys want to donate, please do. It's Big Ange's GoFundMe, and you can find that easily online. So prayers for Big Ange. We don't really want to get too into it, and obviously this will unfold in the season, which I'm looking forward to those episodes as well.
We love her. Many prayers her way.
Yes. Can I add on to the little news and gossip?
Yes.
I heard about, did you guys see the picture of Renee and some guy in the bed together?
Oh, no.
Laying down. I saw it on the Shade Room. Yeah, it was Renee.
The one that she pointed out to us while she was here? Or is this a new guy?
This is a new guy. This is a black guy. So I don't know if that's the same.
Oh, he was black too. I think she's got the type.
Oh, we see you trying to keep it from us.
Got a type.
Yeah, the caption was like watching TV with Bae.
Oh!
So
That's spicy. I love it.
In the bed, white sheets.
Looking
Renee.
good. All right, Renee.
Good for you,
Renee.
Might as well pour a nice warm glass of milk next to that chocolate. Awesome. Well, we'll have more news and gossip for you guys next week, of course, as well. But let's say bye. Where can everyone find y'all?
Yes.
Yay! Okay, so you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at HowardTheThird, and of course my website, HowardTheThird.com.
And I am Blake V. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Blake V Media.
And you can find me at Nicole Brajer all over social media. Tune in next week. Of course, we're going to have somebody on the line. When do we not? We know what to do here at AfterBuzz TV Mob Wives. And hashtag ABT Mob Wives to join into the conversation. And tune in next week. We're super excited. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.